days, it could be the answer to a trivia question. Which was the last team to defeat Louisville in basketball? The answer is Notre Dame in a 5-overtime classic. So joining us in studio is head coach of the Fighting Irish, Mike Brey. And Coach, when you played the Cardinals back on February the 9th, did you see in them what we all ended up seeing, a national championship caliber team?
You know, I don't think I saw it that night, but we played them 2 times since then, and they put it on us pretty good. When they beat us in the semifinals at the Big East tournament in the Garden, I thought they had another vibe, another gear about them, another poise about them. When we stole a W from them back on February 9th, they still had some chinks in the armor, thank God. That's why we stole one.
Okay, so let's talk about your team coming up next season. You lose one starter, but it's a big one in Jack Cooley. You also will welcome a McDonald's All-American to the program there in South Bend. What's the focus for you in the Fighting Irish here in the offseason?
Well, I'm excited about the group we have coming back, and we do have a big loss in Jack Cooley, but I like that we're going to the ACC a year earlier than we first thought because I have a veteran team, and I'd rather go into this new league as we try and create a new identity with a veteran group. I think my whole thing is, and I've talked to our team about this since we've gotten back from the NCAA tournament, is we had an identity and we had cachet in the Big East. We were really consistent. We had a slot there. We were well respected. We got to kind of earn our stripes in the ACC, and for me it's exciting. It's almost like taking a new coaching job, battling the ACC, but it's familiar territory because I spent 8 years in that league as an assistant. I grew up a Maryland basketball fan outside of D.C., but who are we in the ACC is my theme as we head into this next season.
So the void left behind by Cooley, you've got a couple of big guys, Garrick Sherman, and you've got Tom Knight as well. What do you expect from those 2 big guys here as they try to fill those big shoes left by Cooley?
Well, you know, they're both fifth-year seniors. So, you know, 23-year-old guys playing against 19-year-olds. I like that advantage. And we've been able to stay old pretty annually. Both of those guys have a great feel for the game. They're good with the ball. A third big guy who really started to merge for us late, and I think will be a key guy next year, is Zach August. He's a rising soph. And so the 3 of those big guys, rotating them through, I think we have great depth on the front line.
You touched on the fact that you're going to be moving to the ACC a year early. A lot of these arenas are going to be new for your players. What can you tell them, or what kind of heads up can you give them going into some of these places they may have never even walked into before?
Well, the road is tough on the Big East. You know, in the Big East, it's a tough road. But I think winning on the road in the ACC will be harder than winning in the Big East because in the Big East, when you play Georgetown, you play where the Wizards play downtown, and our people get their hands on a lot of tickets. You play Villanova, you play downtown where the Sixers play. All-State Arena here in Chicago, when we play them, half the building is Notre Dame people. So now you're in on-campus arenas, and there are some really tough ones, and I certainly know that one called Cameron is really tough because I lived it.
And that'll probably be a special moment for you, I would imagine, going back there now as a head coach at Notre Dame, going back in your old stomping grounds to coach there.
I like the fact that we'll be playing back through Tobacco Road and in Atlanta and Miami. You know, I liked that when I was an assistant at Duke. I've got some Southern ties, but certainly you get to play in the Dean Dome, you get to play in Cameron. Those will be special places for our program to go and compete.
All right, Coach Mike Brey, thanks very much. Stay right there. Part 2 of our interview with the coach. You can click on that now. We're going to talk about the Mike Rice situation, among other things, here on Campus Insiders.